Well, you can tell everybody. Yeah, you can tell everybody. Go ahead and tell everybody. I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man. Yes, I am. Yes,
We
I
talk
am,
about
yes,
man
I
socially,
am.
and we're getting to the spiritual part of man. And now you talking about,
That's good, yeah.
you know, if we can talk about that. Yeah, we you know, I can go to the Bible.
Go on.
The Bible talks about husbands, love your wife.
Yeah.
Like Christ loved the church.
Go ahead.
And then it go on to say, and give his body for it. You mean Christ loved the church so much he died for the church.
Go on.
Right? And then he said to wives, no, respect your husband. No, that suggests to me that naturally men have a natural respect. He didn't have to command man to respect. If Kevin walking on the beach, I walking on the beach, I see him, I ain't gonna know him. You know, you see, naturally I can respect, bro. You know, that's how men are.
True.
We show respect naturally, right? But a woman, she'll walk past and then she'll say, oh, she ain't even hail me. But you have to say that, but you hail her. You understand what I'm saying? So God has to command them to respect. Now, that's just my simple thing.
Yeah.
But for men, women have a natural love. They naturally love. Men, we don't have that, so we are commanded to do that. Frankie, you have to be sensitive for your woman. The woman needs that.
You
She
went to
needs
the
a
Bible.
little tenderness.
You went to the Bible. Right? You went to the Bible. And I must ask this of you. Does God change for the church? Or does the church have to change for God?
Well,
I'll listen.
God established the church. He ain't no changing for either.
So then why you gotta change for your wife? If he say he's the head of the church, you must love your wife the way he loved the church. Right? Which means that follow what he's doing with the church.
Yeah.
The church has to change to meet his expectations.
But see this. But listen, this is how he show you how much he loved the church. When the church was unruly, well, not the church. When people was unruly, right? When people didn't care about him, he gave his body and died for them. I am saying this is the kind of love you ought to do for your wife. When it talks about, you know, we ought to deal with our women, our wives, according to knowledge, according to wisdom. You is the man. You say you in charge. Your wife is the weaker vessel, but you have to compromise her. If your wife needs tenderness, she needs you to. You know how men are. You know this is how we are. We so solution oriented. Sometimes we miss the whole point what our woman try to tell us. Your woman come home, she say, Kevin, my feet hurt. You know what you thinking? Run a bath to fix her feet. You want run some hot water or something.
I think she wants the shoes and go lay down.
She want to tell you the story of how her feet hurt.
Yeah.
You understand? It ain't only about the feet hurting.
Yeah.
A man be thinking straight to the point. You say your foot hurt, do something to relieve the pain. You see Frankie said? Take your feet, shoot off and sit down. But that sensitivity is, man. And if I can't be open and sensitive with my boys, my friends, how I can be sensitive with my woman? Where I can just pick it up.
No, you could be sensitive with your boys and your friends, right? But we have a framework that we've learned that was passed down from man to man.
No
to
crying.
And within that framework, we have a certain set of rules, certain set of things we do. You know, the woman who you're with now is with you for a reason. She looked at you and she said, "Yeah, that's a man." All right, because there's a bunch of other men who probably wanted her too.
Yeah.
All right. So there are characteristics that you have: decision making, provider. Okay, and then as you go out and so forth, she likes that you open the door or hold the chair. You know,
Frankie ain't doing no door.
you stand beside.
Not if they liberated. I mean, come on, hey. You need all or nothing.
But then now we're talking about different types of men. You're still a man, but you're a different type of man. With Frankie, he could roll with a liberated woman. So a liberated woman looking for him. She ain't looking for you or me. When I open the door for her, she insulted. When I pull a chair for her, she was like, I'm sitting over here.
But Kevin, man, we need to be able, men as men.
Yeah.
We need to be able to give. What's the number one need for man? Male. Male, I ain't even say man. The male in any species. The number one need is sex. Lions, tigers, bears, all the animals. The male number one need is sex. But what the woman number one need is?
Companionship?
No! A woman she need to feel like her man, like she need it in the sense of she need. You said the word companionship.
Yeah.
That's a good word.
Right,
She
right.
need
So
commitment. She need
Commitment, love.
yes.
you confusing me.
You-
You say she needs to feel needed, right?
In terms of
So if I go home and I want my food cooked, I want my house clean, I want my bed make up, I want my bath run.
that's only about
I
you.
need her. She's needed. She's fulfilling the role, right?
That ain't the word I wanted to use. I didn't want to use the word.
Okay,
I
all right.
didn't want to use. Kevin used a word that I wanted to use, but that's telling the word. There's a word I thinking in my head.
Okay.
There's a word I thinking in my head, and it ain't coming to me. And that's how that's always happened. It ain't coming to me. And Frankie, I like how you twist that.
Yeah.
I like how you twist that. But see, that's only about you, bro. What about her?
Well, see, this is the thing. Was what Frankie was saying was that's what Frankie wants. And I believe he's hoping that the lady he's with now will do those things. All right. Now, normally she will do that in return for something else. Now you have to decide what kind of man you is, whether you're gonna give her what she needs so that she can clean the house and cook the food and do whatever.
But most dudes just believe I is the man, you's the woman.
It can happen.
Do that.
But ain't that your quote unquote wifely duties?
No, but I mean, as a man, and you have some manly duties. 'Cause remember now, we talking about what is man and what man should do.
What are manly duties?
Yeah.
As it comes to his home, what is it?
I think in terms of obviously a man has to be a provider.
Provider.
Because
Okay.
if we go on by I use in the Bible. Everybody might not use the Bible as their model. I use in the Bible. When God make man, before he ever give man a woman, he gave him a job. Before a woman ever come, he had a job.
Okay.
Listen, you go and you name all the animals and you take care of the garden. So he
Okay.
should have a job.
So he should have a job.
He's supposed to provide.
Yeah.
And then by the time as the woman come along, he ought to be a protector as well.
Yeah.
He got to protect his home. And if Adam was protecting Eve, we would have never been in the mess that he's in. He was wandering.
So he was right there. You got to
Yeah, he's right there, but he wasn't protecting.
He's right there.
Should have been protecting.
Yeah.
So he
Okay.
should be a protector.
Provider,
He should protect-
protector.
I take offense to you saying that Adam wasn't, Adam's problem was Adam became sensitive.
that's the problem.
Adam listened
to
to
this-
his woman's needs
Uh-huh.
because if he didn't do what his woman wanted him to do, then she wouldn't do what he needed done. So look like that trade-off thing don't work. Tell me something else.
So you
The trade is.
Hey,
You see what the
The
trade is?
trade off didn't work. We got killed from the beginning.
Hey, Frankie,
Okay.
a man should be a provider, right? A
Okay.
man should be a protector, right? He should be able to provide for his family. He's supposed to be able to protect his family, and then a man should also be able to use wisdom. Should have wisdom, and Adam should have applied wisdom. He should use wisdom. And I say is this:
He's blinded.
you have a woman, you have your woman. You should be able to deal with your woman according to wisdom. You know what she need. You know the kind of woman what she like. We don't like communicate. Women love communication. That's the word I was looking for. I think the number one need for women is communication. They need us to communicate with them. Because a man is moved by what he sees. You put a stick and put a dress on it, and it look good. A dude can take it. A woman moved by what they hear.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They move by what they hear. And that's the reason why you could sell a woman a dream easier than a man. Satan standing in that garden and tricking you right away. Just talking down. Listen, man, go on in. You understand? So, as a man, we like to skip over that part in our relationship. Like I say, woman comes and says, my feet hurt, we want to skip over the whole story. Because what she really mean when she say, my feet hurt, she want to tell you what happened. What happened is, when I went to the copier, I was standing up there, and they had the copier jam, and they know the things be jam all the time. And she want to tell you this long, but you want to say, listen, man, take off your shoes and lay down.
Lay down, let me run your hand. Massage it.
Yeah.
If my wife won't come home and tell me that, I mean, well, baby, if this would cost him this, well, don't do this. Don't go to the copier. It's simple. If it's going to cost you
We still ain't
problems,
listen.
No, but
don't go.
Sure.
Frankie-
Listen, I'm giving you solutions to your problems. You ain't got to go to that problem no more.
But that's what I try and
Don't
say.
create a problem just
That's
so I
why-
can be
but
sensitive to you.
do
No,
it.
no.
But
See,
yeah.
don't create a problem. Don't bring me a problem if you don't want me to fix it.
See, that's what I, but see,
It don't
Kevin,
make sense.
Kevin, And Frankie, this is what I trying to tell you all. I tell you, man number one need sex. The man need it. The male need it. He just said that's the number one need. And the woman number one need communication. See, you trying to skip over the communication.
I communicate with him.
No, you
Don't do it, baby.
try-
Let me show you the way, baby. You don't have to be hurting all day.
Communication.
You don't have to come home and cry. You understand?
Communication is dialogue. It's not a monologue.
It's not monologue.
Yes, it's dialogue.
It's
Tell them
dialogue.
what to do.
You tell me and I tell you. Any story.
Anyway, we gotta wrap this up. We have to wrap it. I know so much more we can talk about. There's so much more we can talk about. But before we go, we can ask each one of y'all for your final thoughts. What is a man and what should he do? I mean, we didn't even scratch the surface yet. We really have a lot more.
Yeah, we get to
and
come
so
back
we're gonna
to
wrap
this.
it up. Kevin, we can start with you.
Come
What
back
is a
to
man?
this.
What should he do?
Boy, no, Donna, this is such a big topic that you could to try and sum it up with a sentence is very difficult. Everyone seemed to know what a man is, but then when you try to dissect it, you find that just as it happened to us, there's so many rivers and tributaries you could run off to. All right. So what is a man? I am a man.
This sound like this ain't a dating site. This is eHarmony, man.
So if you want to know what men do, you can come on a ride along with me, and we'll show you, and then we'll come back to the show.
So Frankie, what is man? What should he do?
I like you say, man, to determine what a man is so wide. So that's why I can stick with saying as a man is just one with genitals, because a female is a male at any part. Okay, so man is just the species with the genitals, and who's been given a command by God to protect the species that came from him, which is the female. And I think all we have to do is play our role according to the Bible. Okay, according to the Bible rules, play our role, protect, provide. Let's not go over the cliff, because, like I say, Adam got tricked. So, I'm not saying swing the pendulum the whole way this way, but as a man, what we do is find balance. And that's all. Just find balance. It ain't gonna make the woman happy all the time, but she ain't gonna be sad all the time either.
All right. Well, there you have it. We come to the end of our show, Manversation. I mean, it's been a very interesting topic, and it was impossible to dissect this whole topic in one show. And so I definitely sure our producers can allow us to come back to this at some point. And we thank you for joining us. I thank my co-host, Mr. Kevin Bethel. Thank you, Frankie Grant. Thank you for joining us. Be back with us next week. Manversations.
Tell everybody, yeah, you can tell